All right, welcome back to Reflections, everyone, where we talk about all things Church of Christ with the Elijah Message. It is good to be back with you. So we're continuing our conversation about how Jesus is the silent suffering servant of Israel, and how there's a slow reveal, and how that relates to the messenger. So we're continuing our discussion in the Bible. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Chapter 53, the most famous servant song in the Bible. Let's pick up in verse 1. Who hath believed our report? To whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And when we hid, as it were, our faces from him, he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he hath bore our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. And Jesus then goes to fulfill this prophecy in his trial, in his arrest. So let's look at the Gospel of Luke. In chapter 23, picking up in verse 6. So Pilate just found out that Jesus has been teaching through Judea, beginning from Galilee. When Pilate heard of Galilee, he asked whether the man were a Galilean. And as soon as he knew that he belonged unto Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was at Jerusalem at this time. And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceedingly glad, for he was desirous to see him of a long season, because he had heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen some miracle done by him. Then he questioned with him in many words, but he answered him nothing. Let's go to the Gospel of John. Chapter 19. Pick up in verse 1. Then Pilate therefore took Jesus and scourged him. Then the soldiers plaited a crown of thorns, twisted a crown of thorns, and put it on his head. And they put on him a purple robe. It said, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they smote him with their hands. Pilate therefore went forth again, and saith unto them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. Then came Jesus forth, wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe, the robe of royalty. And Pilate saith unto them, Behold the man. When the chief priests therefore and officers saw him, they cried out, saying, Crucify him, crucify him. And Pilate saith unto them, Take ye him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him. The Jews answered him, We have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the Son of God. So they're charging him with blasphemy, and that is Leviticus 24. When Pilate therefore heard this saying, he was the more afraid, and went again into the judgment hall, and saith unto Jesus, Whence art thou? Where are you from? But Jesus gave him no answer, fulfilling the prophecy of Isaiah 53. Then Pilate saith unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify you, and have power to release you? And Jesus answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivereth me unto thee hath the greater sin. And that's the religious authority, the chief priest earlier. So Jesus, after not answering, reveals himself in his divine nature. You have no power over me except it's given you from above. Jesus is greater than Pilate. It's the reveal of Jesus' divine nature as this heavenly being. And as we talked a little bit about in our last video, that's the spiritual journey that we're on. The reveal of Jesus in our lives. The reveal of the realness of God. The closeness of God in our lives. And it takes time. And it takes effort to reach that point where we really feel the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit in our lives. We're going to continue this idea in our next video. And we're going to see how this idea of the reveal plays into the messages. My brothers and sisters, it's been wonderful to spend this time with you, thinking about these things, reflecting on them. Until next time, I invite you into the Elijah Message House.